legally driving my 1997 Mazda Miata since April 1st, 2015. So it's been pretty much exactly 3 months now. The question is, do I regret spending $4,000 of my hard-earned cash on this car? How much more money have I spent on it? What has been bad, what has been good, and what is it like to drive as an everyday car? My commute every day, every weekday that is 40 minutes each way. And it's really not that bad. It's not that much different than any other car, I suppose. The main complaint I have in terms of commuting is it's obviously not fun to get stuck in traffic with a manual. Also, if you're going pretty quickly on the highway, the interior is pretty noisy. There's hardly any insulation in this car, so it can get pretty rattly, and you get a lot of wind and tire noise too. But the most annoying thing, by far, is the trunk. I can't tell you how many times I've opened this damn trunk and had it shut on the back of my head, or on my arm, or on something that I'm trying to get out of the trunk. It's so frustrating. On perfectly level ground, with no wind, it stays up just fine. But even with a slight incline, or just a breath of wind, it'll shut straight down. And then you have to get out your keys, unlock it, and pop it up again, because there's no mechanism to open it without the key. So by far, that is the most annoying thing. I've tried retensioning it and everything, I just can't figure it out. So I've resorted to using a racquetball racket to prop up the damn trunk. Okay, with that out of the way, what has broken since I got it? Well, whoever tells you that 90s Japanese cars are super reliable, they're lying, because my speedo cable, or the cable that goes from the transmission to the speedometer that controls, obviously, your speedometer and your odometer, that thing broke after 2 months. Fortunately, it wasn't that expensive on eBay. I could get a new cable for something like $70-80, and I was able to replace it myself. It took like an hour and a half, because with a lot of acrobatics trying to get behind the dashboard and plug it back in and stuff. I nearly burned my hand off trying to get it in there, but I did it myself, and so even a complete novice with mechanics can do it yourself. The other thing that wasn't working is my air conditioning. Now, the previous owner said that this would be a problem, so I was anticipating that, and I got that repaired just fine. The only problem is it has a kind of funky smell. I'm hoping that'll wear off after a while, but it's something I might need to look into. Another problem is that the left speaker, the driver's side speaker in the car, the cover is starting to come off, which wouldn't be that big of a deal, except it kind of rattles at certain notes when you're listening to more bass-heavy songs. And even more annoying is when you're trying to roll up or roll down the window, your knuckles get jammed against that stupid speaker thing, and you cut yourself anytime you're not being careful. Another minor annoyance, you have to fill up the gas tank a lot. I probably fill it up twice a week, but it's more because of how small the gas tank is, not because of how inefficient the car is. I'm getting 21 to 23 miles per gallon, which is low by Miata standards from what I hear, but that's probably a lot more to do with my driving style than with the car itself. The real problem is that it has a 10 or 10.2 gallon tank, which when you're driving for an hour and a half to 2 hours every day, that will get burned out pretty quickly. Another thing that's kind of irritating is that since it's a black car, you have to clean it a lot. Things like dust and bird poop and little bits of mud and stuff, they show up much more clearly and they gather much more quickly on a black car than, for example, a white or a silver car. I do end up taking it to the wash quite a bit more, probably maybe twice a month to have it cleaned. And if it's been a particularly rainy month, then maybe 3 times. on to the positive things. This thing is still so much fun to drive. I mean, there's no other way to describe it, so I'm not going to go into it, because you can't really put it into words. Just go out and drive one and you'll know what I mean. I have to admit, I love showing up to work as an intern and having a better car than most people there. I'm sorry if that sounds cocky, but it's definitely an ego boost when you can show up to work and your boss shows up in their Ford Flex, which of course is technically a better car by all measurable ways, except for the way it handles. But a Flex isn't going to get any looks. A Flex isn't fun to drive. A Flex isn't, you can't put the roof down on a Flex. So it definitely gives you a bit of an ego boost to show up and have a better car than most other people in the parking lot. Even better than showing up to work, though, is when you get to leave work on a nice day, put the top down, and feel the wind in your hair, have the sun on your face, and cruise all the way home, listening to some good music. Nothing can really beat that, especially on a Friday afternoon. Going along with the way this car makes you feel, my girlfriend and I, we love showing up to restaurants in this car, or showing up to friends' houses in this car, just because it makes us feel classy. It's a cheap sports car, but I mean, it's still a very good sports car, and it looks nice, and this one is very clean, and I make sure it stays that way, so we feel pretty classy when we go out on a date in it. I love giving my friends and family rides in this car too, or letting them drive it themselves so they can feel how much fun it is. And because not all of my friends know how to drive manual, I've been teaching a lot of people how to drive manual with this car. I'm not sure if my clutch really likes it, but it's fun to teach and spread the knowledge and the skill of driving manual cars, because I want to keep that skill alive for future generations. I feel like this car is making me a better driver. I've been able to practice my heel toe a lot more, something that's not really easy to do in my mom's Camry, which is the only manual car I really got to drive much before I got this car. My Miata is the perfect car for this time of year. I mean, Michigan summers are beautiful. They can be quite humid, but I mean, it doesn't really get much better than a Michigan summer in terms of how gorgeous nature is, how gorgeous the weather can be, and how much fun it is to drive around in a convertible. The only downside being that Michigan roads are awful, so it's not that much fun to ride over with a stiff suspension, these 3-foot potholes and things like that. But hey, it's totally worth it. But we'll see how it goes in the winter. Of course, the headlights still go up, headlights still go down. Another thing that took me by surprise is that I all of a sudden get compliments on my car. That's something that's never happened to me before. Nobody ever complimented me on my white 2002 Chevy Malibu, but now I probably get compliments 3 or 4 times a week, maybe more, from friends, coworkers, and even just random people on the street. Now, what gender are these people, you may ask? It's mostly men. It's mostly dudes that will compliment you on any car. If you want to get attention from girls and get compliments from girls, get a dog, not a car. If you want attention from guys, get a nice car. Another small detail is the style bar. Some people love it, some people hate it. I personally think it looks nice, and I don't think I'm going to get that much more performance from the weight I would save by not having it, so I'm going to keep it on it for now. But let me know what you guys think. Another little perk type thing is that it fits my go-kart barely. If I put the top down, I can put my tiny little go-kart in the front seat, and it's hanging out the side, but I buckle it in, and I can drive it around, drive it to a parking lot, buzz around the parking lot, put it back, and good to go. So what are my next steps for this car? Well, step 1 is to get snow tires and a hard top, or at least a rear window with a defroster, so I can get ready for winter. Winter is always coming in Michigan. I would love to get a fastback hardtop, but they seem pretty expensive and pretty hard to find too. I would love to get a new stainless exhaust, maybe with a muffler delete. I think the Miata sounds pretty good with a nice exhaust setup. I mean, it sounds pretty good as it is, but I've seen videos of people with straight pipe Miatas, and it does sound pretty cool. In terms of the interior, I'm thinking about getting maybe some tan leather seats. I've just been kind of searching Craigslist for tan leather seats around town, so if I find something I like, maybe I'll put that in too. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions for upgrades or modifications that I can do. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Overall, I still love this car, and it's still one of the best purchases I've ever made. I have a few complaints, but those complaints are very minor compared to the awesome experience it is to own this car. I can't thank the previous owner enough for selling it to me, and I can't thank you guys enough for watching this video and subscribing for me. I'll see you next time.